everyone. We're here at Olowalu at our regenerative education centers where we're doing the build out of tiny homes. We've brought in some resources for our community that we want to pay forward and get to folks, and that's in the form of tiny homesteads. Tiny homesteads meaning a deck with a bathroom and a kitchen and black water and gray water and electricity, so that they're completely contained and they're not really taxing from the municipal system, so that we can give them to folks so they can get them back on their land so they can stay in Lahaina. For now, maybe they can put them in Auntie's yard or wherever, different creative places. We have a list of people that have lands available. We're giving these to folks out of here, and in order to do that, we need to rely on volunteers and a little bit of organization. And so right now, you've been probably wondering what we're doing behind the containers. It's taken us people way smarter than myself. I'm not a builder, I'm a farmer, but I have made the space available so that people can store things, so that we can build these things, have the tools available, and as we build them, we're giving them to families as they find the places to put them on. That's one of the challenges. There's all these different ideas. We all need to come together and think of it as a community, and how can we take care of that small gap, the interim housing. That's what I'm trying to get going here. I want to point out I'm a farmer first. The way we've done this, we haven't compromised the land. We haven't compacted anything. We haven't pulled any roots out of the ground. Where we're looking at right now, 3 years from now, hopefully all these folks will have taken these homes onto their land, and this will be a grove of hulu trees, trying to set an example for what should be growing on this side. We teach people about regenerative agriculture, so we're going to take you on a tour and we're going to show you how when something has been destroyed by a legacy of bad agriculture and people being disconnected from nature, can actually be repaired through regenerative agriculture, through observation, patience, and consistency, and bring it in our community to share and actually like the values that we want to put forward, which is Aina first, taking care of what all the people before left as a legacy and not disrespecting it. So those are our missions here, to try to feed people and to try to give away as many tiny homes as we can. This is a kitchen unit that comes along with some containers that we retrofit and we make look beautiful and functional. We put them on a deck with a roof over it. We put it on concrete blocks with earth anchors so we don't compromise our agricultural land. We're not housing people here. We're using this as a place to show folks what they can get. The families can come help build on them so they can make them how they want them, and then they can take part in it. And then when their land is ready, they can put it on their land, and they have a kitchen to cook out of, and a bathroom to use, and a container to sleep in, even if they did get an air rental somewhere else. And then when they're done with it, people are like, where are they going to go? They could turn this into a shave ice thing. They could give it to someone on Hawaiian homestead lands. We have a huge homeless population that needs to be addressed. But these containers are strong enough where they should be able to get a container permit and have it as an ohana unit for part of their family. That's the way people are living anyway. It's hurricane resistant, you can close the doors on it. So maybe I'm ignorant to the facts of what should be, but in my mind, we brought in the resources to do this, so we're gonna pay it forward. And we're gonna farm here, we're gonna make these things, and we're gonna give them to our community. While at the same time, we're farming and trying to bring some attention to how our land needs to be treated.
And this is the building site, right? Like you said, you're going to build it here. The families can help, so they can participate in the learning process, right?
Yeah, so every Saturday we have a volunteer day where there's people building and there's also people farming. We're hiring 4 individuals through our nonprofit that have been displaced from the fires to help teach them and give them a different job opportunity and teach them how to farm with us. So we have that going. We're going to run a food truck. We're going to buy food as well as provide all the food from the farm and give it to our community through the nonprofit. We're not getting paid for this. We're not making money out of this. This is something that I found a creative way to bring in resources and pay forward to my community, while perhaps also putting forward some momentum of ideas of regenerative agriculture, which is what we need in our community right now. We need food security. We need to be able to take care of the land. And I think that takes care of the community. So I know my answers are long-winded, but I just want to share that.
No, it's great.
You said that you've got a website that people can go to apply to be a volunteer?
Yes, the website is called recenters.org. RECENTERS.org. And that's the nonprofit here in That's our nonprofit that we're putting this all together with.
And if they want to volunteer or learn these skill sets, they can sign up right there on the website,
they
correct?
Can sign up right on the website. There's a place you can go to donate to the site. You can volunteer on the site. You can come and be part of our educational program. But that's how you get to us.
Great.
So start walking around and
yeah,
check out
absolutely.
Check it out.
So, Manu, the jig's pretty cool, right? Because look, bam, the frames from there to there, and then those are frames for floors. And then in a few minutes, they're floored up already.
Wow.
And then the walls just go bam, bam, bam. They stand up like this right here.
Holy cow. So this is phase 1 after the jig, if you put it together. Phase 2, board it up.
The bottom, the
wall
plumbing
up
comes
the
out
frame.
of the bottom to go to the gray water tanks. And it just makes it really simple. In the beginning, we brought in some things like
The gray water system. You guys see how they're building that?
And if you step inside his mono, I'm assuming maybe the things you have are coming or something similar to this.
Camera
So how big? How much square feet is this?
It's
8 by 10? 20? It's 20? 8 by
It's
20?
pretty cool in here.
This is like a studio.
And so this
is a bachelor pad.
Stencil it. This is what we want to do to the containers. Something similar to this. And that way they're super cool. And if you think about it, it's just a bedroom.
Wow,
So
even
if
under
you're
this
even a
hot
young
sun,
family,
yeah.
a big
Just like
bed,
Finland.
a little spot for the kid, a nice deck,
works.
This
a
works.
bathroom, one shower. That's how we live on Molokai.
This works.
No brainer.
I like it.
Design the outside.
That's a bachelor pad right there.
In Hawaii, we don't live inside. We sleep inside. We live outside.
We work out
sleep
there.
inside.
That's right. Hey,
So you
yo.
hear everybody talking about, oh, I'm going to live in a box. No, I think the idea to let people make those choices. You want to live on a nice deck with a bathroom and a kitchen and a few containers that are hurricane proof. You don't got to go to the shelter when the fire comes or the hurricane. You got a steel building to protect your family in. You can take charge. I'm just saying, a homestead means all of that to me. So we also have these storage containers here.
Pods.
We've
Yep,
been
yep.
able to get some of those out. Manu, this is what you're grabbing right here. So we want to make those available for folks.
Yeah, definitely for storage for your tool supplies, so no one how you know your stuff.
Yeah. We also there's some stuff stored in there right now, so we hold supplies
Portable
for others
supplies.
so they can distribute it.
Makes sense.
So we've been trying to use the storage we have serve others while we're in the unit. These are on loan to us, so we'll loan them to folks where they can use them, and then when they're done, they can move it forward. We're bringing in the containers 10 at a time, and then the plan is to build out the containers 10 at a time, design the homesteads, build the modular decks, and then take them wherever they need to go, or possibly build the modular decks on site with the same program. But to set it up, then we can literally start getting people in houses.
Didn't you mention that you need assistance with trailers, people
Trailers
to
for sure,
to help
underneath
deliver
the
this?
containers, so that they could pull up on trailers, which would make them street legal. And that's actually the Department of Transportation is what allows you to put a container somewhere. And what better way to not have a signature? We can just roll it there, roll it out, and plant an ulu tree later on. You know what I mean? If we think that way.
Right, we don't need a permit, right?
I'm not an expert on permits.
'Cause it's
but
on
as
wheels.
far as
You don't
I
need a
know
permit.
is if you have it on wheels and it's registered with the state, then you are allowed to put it on ag lands and other areas in temporary situations. Now, when they talk about an emergency proclamation, what's more emergency than like getting people in houses, right?
Ayo.
And like everyone's fighting, oh, I wouldn't live this way, I wouldn't live that way. Maybe if you're the rich guy up on the hill, you wouldn't live that way. But all the people I know in Lahaina, all the local people I know, are stoked at the chance to live in something like this. So I'll take the criticism head on. I don't care. I'm telling you, the people I know, they will live this way and be grateful for it until we can get our houses built back up again.
Solid,
So
Eddie, solid.
This is some of the containers right here that you've seen in there that pop up.
Yep.
This is what the way they come. We got these on the ground for like $7,000 each. So if we can get numbers like that,
So these pop up beyond?
that's that right there. I could get
Wow.
100 of these in place for $7,000.
7,000, the little mini bachelor pad we saw over there,
Over there
8 by
we have,
20, 7 Gs.
Yep, 60 pallets of tile. Inside the container, there's 250 brand new air conditioners.
Holy
that'll
shit.
go on these containers, so you're not in a hot box. You got a nice deck and an air-conditioned bedroom.
Wow, living life.
Geodesic domes, you've been playing with that as well.
Geodesic domes.
We're not going to talk about those on camera.
Well, folks, you know what about geodesic domes then?
The trailers, the housing.
Get more of this stuff over here.
Absolutely, that's what we're trying to do. I've been able to bring in a lot of donations, but I'm buying these and bringing them in. Everything I do, I buy out of the money we brought with the nonprofit. But also, I want people to know I've spent all of my own money out of my own pocket as well. And people don't understand what a nonprofit means when you don't really take in a salary, and any money you do bring out of it for gas or anything, you put straight back into it. I don't know if people really understand what that means. So to run something that's for the people is actually for the people. So all I am is a manager of it, a steward of it, and trying to use whatever savvy I have with my systems in farming to hopefully organize all these brilliant carpenters and incredible volunteers and help us as a community give back to our community. It's that simple right there.
Wow.
So let's look at the farming aspect.
Yes,
of what
Absolutely.
we're doing here.
Can we copy you? Do you have a brother?
No. So I'm pretty proud of it, because if you actually consider the time we've been here, we took it from that,
From the bush of fields,
bushes, to the thing where we're getting stuff done.
clearing the land,
And now
putting a
if you look
foundation.
Right here in this hill alone,
bananas.
there's over 1,000 taro. There's
Carlo!
30 banana stumps. Last year, out of 5 bananas like that, I did 3,500 pounds out of
Holy
5
cow.
banana starts in 18 months. Right now, there's almost 40 around this berm, and this is what I teach people about agriculture. I use wood chip, and I inoculate with mycelium, our local pepeao. It's a native mushroom to here. So I take that and I inoculate all the piles with it. I throw in earthworms and other creatures, and then I pile the wood chips so that in no time, the wood chips, they go through a dry period first. They bleed off some of the nitrogen so they're not hot and they're not a fire hazard. And then once we start adding water to them and we put them on the soil, in no time, you'll start to see mycelium starting to take hold. And once that mycelium, I'm going to show you in the back where it's been going for a few months, and what something like this is going to look like in 2 or 3 months from now. It's going to blow people's minds. And I don't say that out of no ego or bragging, but I'm bragging about Mother Nature right now.
Ew.
Mother Nature will really show you what's up when you really just listen to her language and you plant things accordingly. There'll be, out of this zone right here alone, I'll probably do 60,000 pounds of food. And most of it, what's culturally significant for us, the voyaging plants. Kalo, ko, uala, you know, just right down the line. All the things that are turmeric, pu'olena, coconuts, but also some mangoes, papayas, and the abundance of that together. We can feed people, we can make people feel good about their food. The word ethnobotany is really important to understand how culture develops around food and how much a part of identity it is. So to bring people back to the land and bring back people back to the food that's from it, with the ancestors right above us looking down, how are you going to act? You know what I mean?
How you gonna?
You better have some respect.
Mr. Garcia's local, if you can tell.
And some humility. I've been lucky to be here, and I humbly say, you know, with all humility, that I'm lucky to be as dirty as I am and have lived as close to the land as I have. And so all I can do as my payment for being here back is try to pay that forward to maybe parts where it's been lost or disconnected.
Well,
So
people will
that's
definitely
like the
feel your
future.
heart, Eddie, because I can feel your heart from
Yes,
here. I'm
sir.
sure Manu does. Lanu felt it first when he came here, Luna. And people are really going to love this.
I hope so. I hope people can come and get their hands in the dirt and see what's happening. So let's keep walking.
Absolutely.
Let's see how we take a place from being filled with tons and tons of trash. And I'm talking plastic. I'm
Yep.
talking cars. I'm talking. Yeah, sorry. I'll get that right now. Cars, trash. What was here is what we had is this legacy of
We got
bad
Manu here and
agriculture.
Doggy.
Hey, real quick, can I ask about support global worming? Tell us about the global warming.
Earthworm, Darwin, was an interesting character. He was put in prison for the end years of his life because of his beliefs about evolution.
Evolution. Yep.
And because of that, where he was imprisoned, he studied the field behind him on the movement and interaction of several species of earthworms. And he realized that they actually move hundreds of tons per acre around every year. They are the tillers of the land.
Wow.
They move all the microbes around. They're just a super important part of it. So to me, earthworms play an important part. Although we don't necessarily have native earthworms here, there are some areas where they can really help. And we need to speed some things up. They are naturalized here already. So to be able to use them to help give native plants a grab and also food security, it's a lot better than chemical fertilizers. It's a lot better than soil that's like dust eroding out of the mountains. And even with what's going on with the land, I acknowledge any land in Hawaii was stolen from the Hawaiians, period. And if we own any of it, or if we have the chance for stewardship of it, we better really do that. We better really have good stewardship of it. And so I just want to say that straight up. With all
agree.
due respect, I'm here to take care of the land, to keep it safe from fires, to keep it safe from erosion, winding up smothering our reefs, and to teach people a relationship to it and how important that is. So I just want to make that clear what I'm doing here in my humility with it.
Damn, man, you make me want to buy you a case of beer just to say thank you. you're making this Hawaiian
See all
feel.
my pig prints right there? So every week I shoot a pig with a bow and stick him in the smoker.
Really?
Yeah, we got the smoker.
With a
down
bow?
here. Yeah, I got a crossbow.
Wow.
So we have our regular, this is our refrigerator right here. Right now it's a bunch of invasive trees. In the next few weeks we're going to chip all this down and plant a lot more food in here. And then you get into the area where you're going to start to see some change, and you're really going to see the legacy that was left here, unfortunately. Everywhere around you you're going to see plastic. Because when I was a kid, this was all cane field. And all they would do is every time they grew the cane, they would burn the field and they would just till
Rubber?
the plastic pipes. Visco water pipes. So everywhere.
Oh my God! What a bunch of bastards!
Left it in the ground and then redid it again.
So you're going to see
Oh
how
my
we
God.
take something from something like this to what it's going to look like in the back in no time. And this is what we started with. It's running away to the sky.
Dry
When the
soil,
water
arid.
hits it, there's plastic everywhere. So months and
truth.
months of putting your head down and
Can't
pulling
even pull that
trash
out
out.
because it's so deep. So
Damn,
many others.
that's $1,000 per littering fine. What the hell?
Crazy, yeah?
Ridiculous to get away with this cookot.
How many years? About
Right? Decades?
100 years.
Well, we weren't even born yet, and we got
Crazy,
it.
huh?
It's nuts.
Yeah, it really is, man.
Well, this looks like a different paradise.
Well, so it'll start to change. Right here is the first phase of what's been in the second phase back there. And you can see there's trucks. There's still trash that's coming out. And I've been cleaning this for months now. This was all giant invasive trees and whatnot. And a lot of brush. I had a lot of help from some other folks helping me clear this as well for some of the composting we're doing. Chemo over there at Truth Excavation, they were really amazing.
Shout out to
They
Chemo.
helped set a lot of this place up once when the disaster happened. So I teach about composting. You'll notice these berms everywhere.
Yep.
These berms are when I've been composting in my dry stages for a year already. And now I'm just putting water on them and planting them just like we are the front
And the
berm.
front one, right?
And then every one of these berms will have hundreds of papaya trees.
Wow.
Taro, thousands and thousands of taro plants, squash, all sorts of other things. And I'm going to show you some mounds in the back that look just like these mounds no more than 7 months ago. Nothing was planted in the back besides the big trees. And all the big trees, including these coconut trees and all the green stuff you see back there, 2 years ago, most of that stuff was just little branches with a leaf here and there, pretty much dead because it was enshrouded by this big trees here, opiuma. And that, all of this, all the way down to the ocean was opiuma. And so chipping it and taking it and putting it in the berms, composting, putting the earthworms in them, this will be right here over 150,000 pounds of food right here you see around you.
Wow.
Well over that. In that one small area there. So
Dang.
let's keep walking down into this way. Her feet will be able to cool off in a minute too back here. She'll be stoked.
150,000 pounds of
Oh yeah, here,
food.
let's just go this way.
This is amazing, people. So if you're free, come on down. You can go to their website, check them out. They definitely need more hands in the lands, so you guys can learn to appreciate and learn the skill sets. Bring the kids out. They can learn how to plant, farm, compost, play with the worms. And you can support this beautiful mission for the people, by the people. And we're right here in Maui.
Can't really see in here, but if you look real careful, you see all in front of this berm is vetiver grass. There's taro, there's bananas, there's tea leaf, and we're only now putting water on it and just planted it with the volunteers last week. What will happen on this mound is it'll get wood chips put all over the top of it now, and it'll look like the mounds I'm going to show you in the back here. These mounds, every 30 feet, will have breadfruit trees on them. And so this will become a forest of breadfruit trees all on the perimeter. The amount of food that the breadfruit trees will surpass, the breadfruit trees alone by the 7th year will probably do upward of 2,000 pounds a tree. We're using the mana ulu, which is the maoli, which is the Hawaiian ulu, which I think is really important as well for people to know. And then I've been working on this for 18 months as a total on this land, and I'm one guy.
18 months?
I really don't have a lot of help with this. I've had some excavators here and there. I have a small excavator. So I'm halfway through my coconuts right now. I need to do a lot more trimming on these. But here, let's walk around this way over here.
I think we have to call our Tongan and Samoan ohana.
And what I want to point out is how in just a few months, the land's going to go from this dusty mess to rich, black, living soil.
Wow. Yeah.
That's what we need, boys and girls.
You guys know of soil, some of the dirt is dry. Like in China, they don't compost.
Because they've been left after they've been used. They've been used, taken from, and nothing given back. And we've seen that too much. Enough is enough already.
That's true.
If we're going to take, we need to give back. And right now, we need to give back tenfold from what we take. And that's how we ensure that our grandchildren will have land to farm. That they'll understand what it's like that our food comes from the earth. Instead of this giant field that some corporation doesn't care what they throw in it. Doesn't care about the land. Doesn't care about the future. They care about the dollar bill. That's not what's going on here. What's going on here is actually understanding and caring about the land. The clearing that you see in front of you, when I started here, was all 30-foot tall trees, trash, dust just like this, plastic sticking out of the ground, and a bunch of trees we didn't even know what they were because they were so enshrouded with other trees, not a blade of grass on the ground, only just piles of dust. And through just moving mulch around and setting the mulch around, you'll start to see the difference as soon as you walk into here, and you'll notice the temperature change.
It was cooler back there. I felt over there was cooler.
A riparian zone, actually.
Yeah, and as soon as you come into here, you'll pretty much instantaneously you'll feel
cooler.
the transpiration. It'll cool off 10 degrees right here.
It sure does. Yeah, right.
Isn't that amazing? You gotta feel that.
Feel like I'm back in haiku right now.
Yeah, you get chicken skin when you come in here.
Yeah.
Just 'cause it
You wouldn't believe it's hot as heck out there on the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this.
And then you come right here.
Yeah. So this place here, they grafted a bunch of trees. As fate would have it, I sold the guy some of these grafts from Molokai 18 years ago. That's how I know the age of the grove. And then the fire hit through here, and then it went into disarray. And then it was like a lot of homeless people and dysfunctionality was going on back here. And then when I came, like I said, these trees were sticks. This season, my first season, 18 months after I started, I had over 30,000 pounds of mangoes on the trees.
Wow.
The storm took them all. So we lost the whole crop. 15 different strains. Oh, okay. Like this tree right here has Raposa, Champagne, and Mapaleo. That's one of the grafts that I sold him.
Wow.
We have another big Mapaleo. I sold him when I was in Mapaleo on Molokai. I did a bunch of grafts there. And I sold a bunch of these to him way back when. You couldn't walk from here to that sunspot in a day. You had to chainsaw your way through it. And these things have spines all over them. So it came from this blockade of and massive amounts of trash in here, dumpsters that went out of here. And that's what people left. And, instead of knowing, wow, there's a lot of good in here. If we manage this out, let's see what it looks like. So, let's take a little walk with you.
Thank you, Eddie, for everything that you do.
And grafting is a beautiful art craft to combine the different parts of plants to make together.
We got
pua'a. We got pua'a in the house.
We do little farm-to-table dinners down here.
Nice.
And where this was, like I said before, I've trimmed them in different measures so they still produce a lot of fruit. This is what the piles turn into. This was like a 10-foot pile here not that long ago. And then we'll go take a little tour around this pile. So a lot of the trees that were enshrouding this forest here that I cut and I put into piles, it's right here.
Wow.
And on this hill alone, I'll probably grow, I don't know, a couple thousand pounds of kabocha squash just right here alone.
Jeez.
And around this, we've already pulled off hundreds of pounds of carrots, beets.
And they accelerate the process of the wood breaking down, is it?
It's the process of the wood breaking down and the mycelium. I'm about ready to show you the web. But also, if you can imagine, this was 10 feet tall, and now, right now, there's hundreds, if not thousands of pounds of squash on it. And we've already, all the areas at the bottom, we've pulled out, look, if you look anywhere, you'll see carrots. You'll see beets. You'll see native plants.
There it is.
In between it, you'll see pineapples. Now, I'll also try to take into account that I haven't had any maintenance here in 2 months because I've been in the front working. I haven't had any time. So I'm training some interns. I have one intern guy here that he's learning what I teach him. And then we have kalo ready for harvest all over the place.
Wow.
Just anywhere we look, we can pull up kalo like this. And that's what we're doing right now. We're
Kalo.
And these are the Kamehameha tea leaves.
Yeah.
We'll be growing lots of these around here.
Wow.
Our little
Special
farm has
laulau.
rabbits, and they love those.
Yeah, vetiver grass. All this kalo is dry land. I've never seen any fertilizer, but if you look, there's some of them, it's upward of like 10-pound corms.
Wow.
And there'll be an ulu tree there, an ulu tree here, another ulu tree here. There's an avocado tree there. The way I do it basically is with these buckets.
Buckets?
And these buckets are dry right now because I haven't been out here enough. But if you look inside here, I can stick my hand in here. Oh yeah, there you go. There's one of my earthworms.
And they make the moisture
So
level.
look, this is what makes it happen. Mono, check these guys out. The Amethys gracilis.
Beautiful.
So I use these big fat guys in there,
Wow.
and that's like pure worm castings right there.
The secret.
Looks delicious.
Yeah.
Support global
It
warming.
does.
So I got some ants in there right now, but so what I'll do is I'll take food scraps and I'll just put it in there, and they'll eat it, and then they'll bring it out into the pile.
Wow.
So there's pineapple, there's taro, there's a bunch of things going on here.
Just put worms.
Yeah, we're not going to take you in the whole back where our little homesteads are set up right now. We're kind of living in tents. We got a little solar system set up. In here, if you look, there's asparagus, there's bananas.
Wow.
Also try to take into account that a couple months ago during the storm, there was no leaves on any of these trees. It was a 100-mile-an-hour wind down here. So everything got blown off the trees. That's why we lost all the mangoes. But here's a really good tangerine for somebody.
Thank you.
So if you
Tangerine,
look here,
tangerine.
look, you'll still see carrots. You'll see roselle. You'll see like anywhere there's natives like Ilima. We'll always try to nurture the Ilima. We grow the uhaloa and we sell it as tea, so people understand what some of the native plants that were used as teas around here are for. Building a little fence back there for our little dogs right now. And then if you look on the ground, what's under your feet? Not grass, but grass. 5, 6 different types of grass, but mostly desmodiums. These desmodiums are nitrogen fixers. So they feed your grass. Which a lot of people don't understand, to have these deep taproot nitrogen fixers along with your grass, that leads to a really healthy ecosystem.
The rich environment,
and
right?
Diversity. This place did not have one worm in it a year ago when I started. Where we're standing was powder that deep and black plastic everywhere. And pretty crazy what we can get accomplished in a short time. And these trees all came up to massive production, and I think we're well on our way now to this summer having a super awesome mango season coming up. And then yeah, we have some little tents set up right now, just on deck, and that's kind of it in a nutshell.
How big is the property?
This is 17 acres from the entrance that you came in over there, and then in the back I'm still cleaning up. I have a massive cleanup going on in the back here where the greenhouses are. I lease another piece of land back there.
But just like say this green area that you turned from dust into oasis in 1 year is maybe what, 1-2 acres?
Oh, this is a 4-acre piece right here.
It's a 4-acre.
It's a 4-acre grove orchard that I pretty much took from chaos, and you can see all the branches all piled in some places.
Yep.
Some areas are still, the last places I got are still what I call their dry phase, and in the dry phase I let all the boar beetles and the termites make powder. And if you really look, they'll take one branch and they'll put a substantial amount of powder, and then when I throw the fungal material in it, it just goes like this. It explodes from the surface area.
So you growing oyster mushrooms as well?
Oyster mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms. I will not get oyster mushroom blooms. No, let's be clear. Mycelium, the mushroom is the fruit of it.
Yes.
So we
So
have
they don't
several
bloom out here.
myceliums here that in such a dry environment that won't bloom. But amazingly enough, this year when we had the rain and I had first started, we had oyster mushroom everywhere. And we had pepeao everywhere because it was that kind of a wet year. And I think we're going to have an El Nino year right now, which could constitute into a very wet year for us over here. So I'm actually really excited about what we're going to see popping out of my mycelium everywhere. And I'll be able to show you the webs that are built around here. And yeah, that's kind of it in a nutshell. It's not rocket science. It's just dedication, patience, commitment, I guess. Observation, really paying attention and trying to look at what nature's telling us. And then, yeah, we have the chance to clean up places that are left as a mess, make them functional for our community, make them serve our grandchildren, serve the ecosystem. I think that all those things are kind of combined and really important. So yeah, that's to me what's important. Oh yeah, my little Campbell ducks.
Ducks, quack, 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 duck,
They're
quack,
having
quack,
their
quack.
own meeting.
Ducks running around here. There's tortoises running around
Chickens.
here. There's
The
some
tortoises,
little
though, they
puppies
dig
around.
pretty deep, right? How
They
do you
make a
deal with
burrow and they just stay in their little burrow and then they come out and mow the lawn for us.
that? Okay.
Yeah. And these guys, same thing. They just walk around mowing the lawn and they're pretty cool little guys.
Get all the beetles.
Yeah, they're flightless, so they don't represent any invasive or anything like that. Some of the
Have
ducks
they
that
been
were brought
clipped,
over.
or-
No, they don't fly. They're a flightless duck.
Ducks that don't fly, mighty ducks.
Yeah, so people brought ducks over that have like ruined our native koloa from they interbred with them.
Oh,
And then, you know what I mean? It kind of messes it up. Yeah, here we can walk around. Yeah, I don't really want to take you too much back in there, but here, let's go back out this way. I'm trying to think of the easiest way for the dog. Yeah, let's walk back.
Oh, no, this is
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, we'll walk back right here. These guys are putting up a little fence for dogs right now.
so if you guys are watching this video later, if Mr. Eddy Garcia can do it, so can you. He is one man, and if he's done all of this with his vision, his hard drive, his effort, volunteers, you can do it too. You guys can help support the mission. Come Monday through Fridays. Definitely give them a call. Get on the worksheet list. Get your kids involved. Get them something to do. Teach them some skill sets so they can build a farm for you and your ohana in the future.
Now you can see these are some of the last areas I cleared. I want to say just 5 months ago, right here where we're standing, was still 40-foot trees enshrouding this, 30-foot trees.
Wow.
And you can see the difference in the land. Like, I'm still pulling plastic. But you can see my desmodium is already taking hold. And then it's just a constant, it's like this as we go.
Yeah.
For the months, we'll just keep doing this. And then as our desmodium fills in and we take trash out of the ground, then we let some weeds grow on purpose because they blot out other weeds and they're easy to deal with, so we use them to our advantage. And then we grow, this is a native uhaloa. This is an endemic plant that's a super awesome tea.
Look at those
So-
bees.
The bees love it.
Yeah, it's a great pollinator. I have honeybees here as well. I have 4
Wow.
or 5 honeybee hives. So it's kind of encompassing everything. And then here's some of the last trees that we cut down. They're still in their dry phase. There's another mound over there. Yes, you guys should actually probably see this. This is probably a good example.
All right.
If you want to see.
Sure. Let's go on an adventure. We're going deeper into the jungle.
So if you look in here, you'll see just random, what looks random. But if you actually look closer, you'll see that it's uhaloa. It's kalamungai. It's pua olena.
Olena.
It's carrots. I'll do giant carrot crops, and I'll just leave the carrots in the ground. They're super high carbohydrate, and they will feed turmeric like nothing I've ever seen. The turmeric's giant and even more orange. Perhaps it's because
after
of
they
the
break down, the turmeric eats it, or
yeah, the worms will eat the carrots right in the ground. But Pings put tubers in the ground. I do the same thing with tapioca. I'll plant mass tapioca, and I won't harvest it. I'll just chop it down and mulch it. And then it'll compost in the ground. So I'm basically sticking carbon in the ground. And so this mound, I've already pulled tons and tons of squash off of it. I focus on letting the uhaloa take the stage, but then underneath it, everywhere is carrots and beets and turmeric and other trees that will later pop up in the scenario. And then there'll be an ulu tree here. And another ulu tree over here. And if you look close, you'll see there's still tons of carrots everywhere. A lot of them are going to seed right now. There's turmeric. But I want to show you what a 9-month-old papaya tree from seed looks like without any fertilizers. It also already went through a 100-mile-an-hour wind 2 months ago. And you can see the 2 months of growth since the storm, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
This is from 9 months ago?
This tree has been giving me papayas from here. I have pictures of it. My trees normally produce up to 300 pounds of papaya a year.
Holy
the average for
cow.
papaya trees is 20 to 40 pounds. This is with no fertilizers, and it's because of the mound behind it. If you see the difference in the growth right there, all of that, the top of it was all blown off by the storm. So that's like all brand new growth since the fire, because all the leaves came off the thing.
So resilient.
All of these things, that's what regenerative agriculture speaks to. It speaks to resiliency. Earlier when I told you guys about desmodium, look at that.
Yeah.
I can let the bigger grasses grow big, but instead of having to use herbicide and try to fight the other grasses, eventually the desmodium will take over and the good grasses will take over. It's just consistency.
Yeah.
Watching it and doing it again and again and again. And so I'm proud on that sense of how papayas are, because I've been consistently able to show this model for many years now. And if the average is 40 to 60 pounds a year for papayas, and we can do 300 pounds a year with no fertilizers, it looks better, all the land is healthier for it, what are we thinking?
Right,
you know what I mean? Honestly.
We should copy you.
Thinking.
No, it's not about me. I think there's a lot of people, I think, on that thing. It's not really about me at all. I'm like, it's kind of funny. I went to the 4th grade. I'm just saying it's really common sense stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I got some birds eating my papayas. I'm growing so much stuff right now. But yeah, so we have an abundance of food that we'll be giving away to folks. On here, there's a little solar system built out here, and we have some little huts and tents that are all legal because they're tents. And so that's kind of the way we're doing it right now. And we're going to be on site, on the farm, building houses, growing food, and sharing with people how simpler life can actually be much better. It's much more, for myself, the poorer I am, the richer I am. Because lately we've been throwing net and eating lobster and eating fish and sticking all the pigs and deers in the smoker. And that's a value like on Molokai. That's how it is anyway. So I'm like, man, Maui needs a little bit of Molokai right now, honestly.
True.
And to like look back to the older ways, how everybody's lived for all these years. So yeah, that's about everything I got to say on it. We got to get back out there.
All right.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Eddy Garcia.
I didn't mean to turn our whole thing to a super long tour, but
No, that's solid.
yeah, right.
It's good. And when we're recording it, so you don't got to repeat it. We're just going to send it out to the world.
Yeah, I don't think you said anything that you wanted to have cut, right?
I don't think so. I just want to be sensitive to folks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was telling you guys earlier, even if there's folks that I disagree with or anything, or necessarily, I don't even want to deal with anything anywhere like
you
that.
don't need any of that energy.
We don't want that
and
drama.
positivity.
Build, grow.
Yeah, I just want because if we can put really positive model out there for everybody, then that provides hope.
Yep.
And I think once we see it and we know, oh, it ain't going to take me 30 years to
can
clean
be
this
done.
stream.
Yeah.
We can clean a stream in a year straight with 30 people and have it look pristine again. In Maliko, we took hundreds of batteries out of the stream. We weren't allowed to. We just said, you know what, we're going to do it anyway.
Right.
And I took my chances and I did it. And so that felt really good. It inspired me. It was my own hope. I can just go in here, I can clean this mess up, and then perhaps if some others see it, maybe it will motivate them to clean up some of the messes as well. And it's not hundreds of millions of dollars. It can be hundreds of thousands of dollars. But as a community and setting an example, we've already shown we can bring that in. So how do we make people pay it back and pay it forward? as I told the tourist, you've parasailed over here, you've got married here, while we've been excluded from the beaches, we've been excluded from parking, we can't even get into a restaurant or cream in the store. But so you're here and you want to experience all that wealth of what Hawaii is, then you should also think about how you can give back to it and support these communities. And also think about how you visit. Enough of your parasailing, enough of your bar hopping. Why don't you come and experience culture? Why don't you understand what Aina means and what it is to play a part with the community? And so I think that's, if I had a message to put out there, that would be pretty strong. With all due respect, tourism should play 10% of our economy, not 90%. Yeah, we're second-class citizens here. You know,
The motion is second.
So yeah, let some visitors come enjoy and understand and learn what aloha is. But to come and displace us from everything, I try to get in the store over here down the road in Olowalu. And every time I go, tourists pull up in the van and send their kids running out ahead of me to get in line.
What the heck?
And I'm like, I still got to get back to work, and I don't even understand it. And sometimes I feel like saying something to them, and I don't.
Well, check this out real
You know
quick,
what I mean?
guys. Here's the product of the tourism industry mindset, and here is the product of the aloha mindset.
Yeah, people need to learn to be farmers too.
Which side
Yes.
of the road do you want to live on?
Hey, and you know what? Hey, I'm going to say it straight up. I'm calling you out as well. With all due respect, whoever you are, you say you support agriculture, then get out and farm. I've been offering leases for years to try to get people to understand and to grow food. So get out and farm. Come see us. You want to get your hands in the dirt? We'll help you. We'll empower you. But enough excuses already. Let's stick our money where our mouth is. Let's put our hands into what our mouth supports, our wa'a. You know what I mean? Let's put our mouth where our money is, enough wa'a nui, and let's think, hey, how can we put our hands in the dirt and start farming? So I say that with the utmost humility and due respect, but I am. You say you want to farm, you say you want food security, you say you want farming on Maui, then step up. Come on, let's not be waiters and waitresses. Let's not clean people's diapers and underwear in the hotels. Let's not have to say, oh, thank you, sir, to somebody you don't even like anyway. Let's step up. Let's put our hands in the dirt. Let's grow food for our community.
Talking about responsible farming too, not just any kind of farming, a big high production farming where one person owns all the big land. It should be a lot of small farmers like Eddy that's creating regenerative farming, keeping it as responsible as possible, you know, and really donating their whole life and everything they got like Eddy right to the land. And, you know, look, when he gives back to the land gives him back tenfold. And if everybody, you know what I mean, if you guys can see an example, this is a good example right there. She's pretty pono, if you ask me. She's better than a lot of things I see, so. I said, do your homework, come out there and see for yourself. Eddy would invite me, he said, come anytime. He never said what time, when I can come, wasn't it? Come when you're ready, man. I did, come when I'm ready. That's what I'm doing here right now, with my dog.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's the best we can do, right? If we're going to operate something, we need transparency. We need transparency from everybody.
Yo.
You know what I mean? Everybody like, oh, you get in that, you get in that. Sure, this stuff is for one thing, for the people who lost their homes and their life and their sense of normal, our lahaina. Everywhere we had a mango fight under the mango trees, everything we ran to the harbor surfing as kids, whatever it is, you know, we all know every nook and cranny of lahaina. And now, when I stood in lahaina that morning early at 5 in the morning, man, I didn't recognize anything. It's so, I can't even speak to you of what I've seen, and without, I'm on the brink of tears constantly. And I'm lucky I have something to pay forward to my community, because I have a way to process that. I can just keep my head down and go forward. But a lot of my friends and family and people that I know don't, they're sitting in a hotel twiddling their thumbs and threaten to get kicked out tomorrow and not know what it brings. We're second-class citizens right now. It's never been more evident than it is right now. How do we become first-class citizens? We take it back. We take the Aina back by sticking our hands in it. We set examples of what it looks like. Not with violence, but with aloha. With real aloha, pulling forward together and putting our differences aside and trying to say, hey, what can we do that's real? We can plant things. We can water things. Really simple. Yeah, again, I'm babbling to it, but these are what I feel really strongly is how we bring lahaina back to being lahaina, you know, with such a mixed mash. Another thing I want to point out that we pointed out before, for a while I thought, I'm like, oh, I'm one of the only lahaina farmers that lost his farm. It's not true. All of Lahaina Luna, 30% of those people had pigs in their yard.
Chickens.
80% of them had chickens in their yard. Everybody had bitter melon and kalamungai. Everybody had things growing, okra, papayas in the yard. So everybody was farmers too. And that's why homesteads? Because people want to get back to that. We want to have people be able to have their deck filled with food all around them. So Auntie can sit in her chair, watch her soap operas and whatever, and you can feed her okra out of the garden, just like you were doing up on Lahaina Luna. Everybody knows the average household up there was 12 people, 14 people, not 5 people. You know what I mean? Those garages and cars and vans parked in the carports, part of the tragedy, but also how do we give that same lifestyle with creating another tragedy and also giving us a sense of normal until that time comes again to do that same thing, but in a smarter way, perhaps. I don't know exactly, but yeah, one last babble.
No, you're doing great. And you had a vision, right? Because a lot of people, we've got like over 14,000 people displaced. And we see these container homes. There's going to be, manpower, materials, and, some finances involved. But what is the vision you see to keep Lahaina lands in Lahaina hands? Meaning building a village, building a community. What do you envision?
I'm just one tiny little part of that. Like, I think the community has to really embrace and move forward with whatever the ideals are of the whole. I hear a lot of talk about bringing back the ulu grove and planting regeneratively, and that sings to my heart and my heartstrings personally. I think that agriculture and ethnobotany and how we're built out of what we grow, our cultures, what we relate to, it all comes from the land. Everything we know comes from the land and the water. The word for wealth, ho'ovai, pu'uvai, the blood. These are the things that are important to me. So if the community would really vote for farming taking over gentlemen's estates and tourism knocking down a notch, and perhaps Lahaina being restored to the cultural value that it is, but not only the cultural value, the ecological value. Wetlands play such an important part for our reef systems and what has been here for so long. We've taken the mountains, not us, the agricultural companies took them and they flattened them out. They took the water to totally different areas, and now these totally wet areas are dry fire hazards. So I would hope that agriculture and sound management of the land, servitude to the land, maybe more people will wake up to servitude and understand that we serve the land and it serves us. I would think that that's something myself and my small little part here would envision, but I would really help. What does Lahaina want to see? We got to get people back into Lahaina that are from here, that aren't displaced. We can't allow this giant development to happen around us. I really don't have the answer for that. Mana, you got an answer for that?
What your vision of keeping Lahaina lands in Lahaina hands? We have to fill vacancies for 14,000 plus people, but people are talking about building a village. What do you see as rebuilding Lahaina?
Yeah, like Eddie said, it's going to be up to all the people to embrace it all. I think it's going to take everybody moving together and in one direction. And we got to all find common ground, first of all, and work on that and focus on that, and focus nothing but the common ground. Everything else you got to let fall off the ship. That's just heavyweight. You just falling off. But you find common ground, you stick to that, you focus, and you share that common ground with each other. And I promise you, this canoe is going to move faster than you thought. And we're going to move exactly where we want to move. I think that's the biggest thing, and I'm focusing on mitigation of things that with the fires. We want to mitigate these fires by creating more agricultural influences around it, and the landowners around that. I really hope that they find it in their heart somehow to start supporting that kind of thing around the whole neighborhood, the whole aina of Lahaina. And it's hard for people to move back into their place knowing that the fire mitigation there is no mitigation. Knowing that, is it going to be safe again? It's not only everybody just moving in one. It's like, to get everybody to that point, you really gotta have trust. And unfortunately, it starts with those big landowners on the outside, I believe, too, to really kind of start thinking with one better head, with more community thoughts. And I feel like if they get backed by the community, everybody gonna be doing way better, including that person, whoever they are. West Maui land, all those landowners and all those guys.
Peter Martin.
Yeah. Well, I don't like throwing names out there, whatever it is, but
Pikachu said it.
Yeah, it's kind of a vital thing that we all kind of just find common ground and focus on that common ground, and you know, just move forward. Just focus on solutions. Don't focus on problems. Don't see what is wrong. Don't see what is that. I had one choice where I could tell people, oh, maybe we should do them this way. Maybe we should do that way. I think we should do this way. And then it starts to turn to I this, I that. Or I just go to the other road and just be like, you know what? I feel like this guy's gonna be doing good. I just gonna back these guys up as much as I possibly can to make them strong as much as I possibly can. So I'm over here feeling like I like back up Eddy in every way that he had, and I know Eddy feels the same way about me and everything. I don't even have to ask him. So with that said, I just gonna move forward with that positive Pono march, you know, and keep it real as much as possible. Hello.
You moving up? Okay, I got chicken skin. See, you got Hawaiians together. Oh my God.
Keep it real.
Chihu.
That's it.
All
I
right.
want to point one other thing while we're here out. Where we're standing. Where we're standing is a little trail that's been put in here on the back road. And if you notice what's around it, check this out. This powder. This comes from the mountain. This comes from the mountain from the deforestation, from the cane industry, from the pineapple industry. What was above us? This is the legacy they've left. They've taken fertile land, fertile Aina, and they've turned it into dust. And now we're losing it to the sky. We're losing it down this trail into the ocean. But I want to point something out that might inspire you. This year alone, with just a tiny little hump of silt that I moved and a low spot on the other side here, I've been able to save hundreds, if not thousands of tons of soil from going out on the reef out there. In fact, this year, I took every drop of topsoil coming from the mountain here that was coming in this direction, and I put it all back on to the farm project. In fact, those hills that you see that we're going to grow food with, they are mixed with the silt and the topsoil from up in the mountain. So rather than letting all that mineral material go out and smother our reefs, we were actually able to put it on the land and add to this abundance. So out of tragedy comes abundance, but averts tragedy somewhere else. What we need to do now is we need to reforest our watersheds. We need to plant natives. We need to, like, if tourists are going to come over, make them come up and plant trees. Or make a tax on the tourists, go to reforestation, to reclaiming our water. We say they don't have the water to take care of the infrastructure, charge the tourists 10% of their stay when they come here to give back. We can't get on the beach. We can't find parking. We can't find cream in the store. We got to wait in line for somebody running out of their van to get in the restaurant before us. So what's up with that?
You got you got no Manapua, no Port Cash, no Meat Jun. What the heck is going on here?
Visit Pono. You wonder why somebody's tailgating you. You're cutting off someone for the parking spot. You wonder why we're weary while we're in a state of trying to grieve over it. Meanwhile, you're just dancing around on the roof with sunscreen and your little hula, whatever. You know what I mean? And we're sitting like, trying to get something to eat before we got to get back to work. I know you're looking at us all dirty like we're low life because you're in your fancy clothes and your rental car, and you were looking at us like a second-class citizen. So now you don't even want to interact with anybody. There's a separation. Wake up, maka'ala, open your eyes, and try to see what you're treading on when you come here. Try to do it with responsibility. Understand and learn what aloha is, because you'll never see more aloha when you tread the right way. When you come in and you act responsibly and you want to learn instead of take, and you come with some sense of entitlement. I've had people stop me from trying to surf or kite surf on the beach because they're on vacation and they have that sense of entitlement to be there, and I'm in the way somehow. So, like, no, enough of that already. Wake up. Have people come here with respect and having to learn a different culture, and not thinking that this is just America and that they have this sense of entitlement free for all, and that you're thinking you're helping us. You want to know where your money goes to? Your money goes 99% of it to the giant corporations that build the hotels. The folks that work in the hotels, I would probably say 70% of the workers are actually immigrants that are coming over here. We love them as well too, but still yet, let's be real about it. How many people do you know that are Hawaiian or not Hawaiian that grew up on Maui that work in the hotels and make a decent living? Washing somebody's underwears, waiting for them at the tables. Oh, I got your shrimp. I'll bring you, your glass broke. Enough of that already. You know what I mean? So what's the reality of it? You know what I mean? Yeah. Second-class citizens. So you want to say in your thing, I'm here supporting you. That's why I'm in Hawaii. That's what I hear all the time from them. You ain't supporting us. You're supporting the oppressor. You're supporting the things that have taken the beaches, taken the parking spots, taken the cream out of the store, and you're dancing around like you have the right to do it. And I love people, and so I'm not trying to say this out of disrespect. but open your eyes. Pay attention that when you come into a culture that's so different that you need to pay. Would you go to Islam and shake somebody's hand with your left hand? You'd probably have enough common sense not to do that. So why would you do what you're doing here around us all the time? Sorry, I mixed that one up, but I know you guys are editing. So this right here, the dirt, that's what I was talking about. Perfect. I just wanted to show that because erosion is so important for us. And keeping the soil on the land. And then what you see right here, you're gonna be able to take all the wasted materials from the invasive trees and all the silt that's ran down the mountain. And now because of that, we're gonna be able to grow hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds of food that we can give to folks.
So you're taking back the land just a few feet at a time, huh?
Yeah, it is kind of like just forward, just forward, just forward.
Keep expanding from the initial oasis area.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Exactly. Little bit at a time. The sprinkler will get moved down here now. This is the first wetting of the piles now. So we're right at that same time. Next week, we'll plant these piles in squash. So all that material that you see at the surface, the squash will cover it. The mycelium mat will go under the squash. We'll grow all of that, and then the worms will have a cool place to really eat that pile. And then by the time the squash has run its course by summer, the papaya trees will already be loaded. The pua olena, the sweet potato, the tapioca. So it happens pretty quick. Grinding it up, and then eventually every little piece of ground that if you don't cover it up cracks like this, because that's all silt that ran out of the mountain. So now you have to cover that with mulch, you have to add the mycelium, the earthworms, and now the worms can move from this pile to that pile. The tree in the shade can get photosynthesis from the tree in the sun. And that's what the web, the soil web, the network that's underneath us does. And that's why we need to understand that as above, so below. It's so important to understand that and what's happening above us and below us. And then once we know it and we understand it, we know how to drive our race car, you know what I mean? Or we know how to steer it. I don't know, but if we can learn how to steer our impact on the planet and what we're doing with things, then we can live in harmony with this planet. We can live in harmony and nothing but beautiful examples and leave something legacy for our grandchildren.
It's just true biology. Soil biology is all where it comes from. So where we come from. The silt itself, because it's such a thin little tiny piece of soil, when it comes together and it dries up, it compacts like a rock, and you can't really push, the roots can't push through that. You need something like a medium, like all this mulch that's going to go inside the soil that'll help hold water and retain water. When the soil is this hard and cracked like that, water goes on top of the soil and it runs away. You don't want water running away on top of the soil. You want it to just soak right in. That's healthy soil. That's how you can tell that stuff. The mycelium he's talking about is straight up biology. That stuff is all the good stuff that is going to inoculate everything. That's going to bring all the nutrients. That's going to be healthy for everything you grow. And then when you eat it, you're going to have healthy, real nutritional food. Not fake kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If you know. If not, do the research, bro. Do the research yourself, because what you put in your body is important. That's your own choice. You make your own choice.
So you can hear the words from Brother Manu, Malama Ke'aina. I want to nominate Mr. Eddy Garcia to the David Attenborough of the Hawaiian Islands. So he can give us this great documentary of how he's doing this all. With
as you can see,
how to save Maui and the Hawaiian Islands with the worms. You just get some worms and you make some piles and you run the water.
And they don't give a shit for the damn land. All they can do is fuck it up more. Damn those bastards!
How dare those bollocks! Absolute bollocks!
Bollocks, I tell you. David Attenborough, if you see this, come get your feet on the ground.
Come join us. Come.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask if you were familiar with Joel Salatin.
I am familiar with Joel Salatin.
Yeah, you're kind of reminding me of his Reclaiming the Desert, but with a different approach.
Yeah. I won't talk about that on film too much.
All right, then.
Tears in my eyes, so where do I start? It seems like everything is falling falling apart. Blue canvas sky, but something painted it dark. From the ashes there will grow a garden of hearts. There was no warning, no alarm. Lost everything, but not our faith in God. That's why He sent His only Son to save this holy ground we're standing on. Won't you stand with the Lahaina? Oh, Hana. A million tears for you. Won't you stand with the Lahaina? Oh, Hana. Until the skies are blue. Something just ain't right the way they cover their own. Feels like they wanted this land all along. Can't put a dollar sign on everything we own. Oh, Mr. Greed, just know you reap what you sow. Won't you stand with the Lahaina? Oh, Hana. A million tears for you. Won't you stand with the Lahaina? Oh, Hana. Until the skies are blue. Highness not for sale. Whoa, oh, 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 save the cakey. The Highness is not for sale. Save the cakey. Stand with the Lahaina. Oh, Hana. A million tears for you. Won't you stand with the Lahaina? Whoa, Hana. Until the skies are blue.
A beautiful place on the island of Maui.
Maui, Hawaii.
Maui. 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 Maui's most called paradise on Earth has been tragically reduced to ashes.
There's a house built out of stone. With flowers, walls, and window sills. Tables and chairs worn by all of the gods. This is a place where I feel like
This is going out to the whole wide west side. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Break it down for me. Steady Maui, rock on. I was just a young boy living in the hub city. Eastside Compton. Back in the days when Ice Cube and Easy had everybody yelling out, boy, you can't with me. Remember Ice-T at the power. Gunshots licking by the hour. We're too short, bumped in every super spot, and told us all how to ride for the West Coast. My people, if you hear me where you at, throw your gloves in the air and wave them like you just don't care. From LA to the Bay, what you say? All day, every day, any damn day. Take a look around, we got the whole world locked down. But no, don't stop, won't stop, can't stop, either ride or die. That's why I put it down for the West Side. Ain't that long ago, no. We were still in 40s out the liquor store. Mama started tripping, so it's time to go. Out to the park with the locusts. Everybody broke, so it's roaches. DJ Quick was the lick, and everybody trying to be from the CPT. You remember? One time tried to clown. We had to burn the whole thing down. One time for my homies in incarceration. I blaze a dime with you for having lots of patience. 2 times for my sisters at the county build. I got some Westside love for all you ghetto children. 3 times for my homies that have passed away. Take some cheer for you and pray for better days. One day everything's gonna be fine. But until that day, my only reply is Westside till I'm a die. Where you at? Throw your gloves in the air, wave them like you just don't care. From LA to the Bay, what you say? All day, every day, any damn day. Take a look around, got the whole world locked down, going on and don't stop, won't stop, can't stop, either ride or die. Got to give it up for the West Side. From Crenshaw to Foothill Boulevard, all I see is rollers and mob cars, Dayton's and Boxstars. All the true hogs is hitting switches with all the finest bitches. Of course the bounce chickens, don't get it twisted. Ask me what's a real G, show me a grabbing back against the wall until his knuckles bleed. Screaming death to all our enemies and those who don't believe. West Coast living be the best to me. One time for my homies in incarceration. I blaze a dime with you for having lots of patience. 2 times for my sisters at the county build. I got some love for all your little ghetto children. 3 times for my homies that done passed away. I took some cheer for you and pray for better days. One day everything's gonna be fine. But until that day, my only reply is Westside till I'm a die. Throw your gloves in the air, wave them like you just don't care. From LA to the Bay, what you say? All day, every day, any damn day. We got the whole world locked down, going on and on, won't stop, can't stop, either ride or die. You gotta give it up for the West Side. Dedicated to Eric Easy, right? Tupac Shakur, rest in peace, homies. I need to believe. My thoughts big, I just can't define. Wish I could turn back the hands of time. Us in the six, shopping new clothes and kicks. You and me taking flicks, making hits, stages they receive you on. Still can't believe you gon' give anything to hear half your breath. I know you still living your life after death.
Every move I make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be missing you. Thinking of the day when you went away. What a life to take, what a bond to break, I'll be missing you. Somebody tell me what I want that morning when this life is over. I know I'll see your
Every day just passes, as the day that I get closer. Seeing you again, I miss you, babe. Don't stop, cause we can't stop.
every step I take, every move I make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be missing you. Thinking of the day when you went away. What a life to take, what a bond to break, I'll be missing you. Every step I take, every move I make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be missing you. I'll be missing you. Thinking of the day when you went away. What a life to take, what a bond to break, I'll be missing you. Every step I take, every move I make, every move I make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be missing you. I'll be missing you. Thinking of the day when you went away. What a life to make, what a bond to break, I'll be missing you. Every step I take, every move I make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be missing you. Thinking of the
He aloha mai kākou, e noho I lalo, e ho'omaka na kākou.
Boy, you know what she's talking about?
Yeah, she said you got a big hole in your shorts.
No way, bro.
Yeah.
What side?
Right side.
Should have put my left or right leg up.
I should put your left leg up because the fluorescent pink is kind of blinding me.
For real.
It kind of smells weird, so.
I never showered last night.
No leila, o ka haawina mua e ho'olauna na kākou ke kahi. Leila e kuka ana, e pili ana I kau hana ma ke kau vela. Hiki no?
Aloha. No laila, o wau no o kawika. He mama no ho i wau no ka mokupuni o Maui. Kia kau vela, ua haupu mai kupunga e kekahi manao e haku I mere. No laila, hiki kekahi e ho'okani mere.
Hiki no.
E kipa mai ko u aina, aia malahaina, ho'okono I nā hoa, a mama ua noa, uehe no ke ia, wehe no u, huli no a ami no ke ia, ami no u, e hua kai I ka wai, e ku'u I ka mai, e ku'i I ke kalo, e aia pai, e kanu makaloi, kanu no ka moi, ho'okahi I ka vai, ho'olu ka aina, kau mai ka pē a holo ka wa'a, holo I tahiti ho'o ma'a, pono no ke ia, pono no ke la, hana ia I ka ia, alohi mai no ke kai, ku hou po'o aku I ka vai ai, laki no oe pi'i mai, laki no oe pi'i mai, hua I ka puna vai, la'a I ka hana paki ai, laki no oe pi'i mai, laki no oe pi'i mai, e ho'i mai Olowalu, e he'e I ka nalu, he'e ana I ka lala, ho'i ana I ka mukuku, I punau oe e malama pono, le'a mau I ka makahehi, pi'i I ka mauna, I luna o ke kauna, hika'a I ka lani, o vaila ka mahina he hoku, akua, oia no, mai ka iwe, kau mai ka pē a holo ka wa'a, holo I tahiti ho'o ma'a, pono no ke ia, pono no ke la, hana ia I ka ia, alohi mai no ke kai, ku hou po'o aku I ka vai ai, laki no oe pi'i mai, laki no oe pi'i mai, hua I ka puna vai, la'a I ka hana paki ai, laki no oe pi'i mai, laki no oe pi'i mai, mama ke ia ka ulua, a eia no wau, e auala I ke ao, e kupau, e koa ai pili ka ua, pili mai, e pipi mai hana ku, alohi mai no ke kai, ku hou po'o aku I ka vai ai, laki no oe pi'i mai, laki no oe pi'i mai, hua I